Hey everybody, my name is Ashley Rush and I'm an independent creative memories advisor located in North Carolina. Today I'm bringing back a series that I haven't done in a while. So I am going to be doing another one of my project recipe adaptation videos. If you aren't familiar with project recipes, they are something that Creative Memories comes up with. It's a cutting guide to create a 2-page spread. They make one of these for every single new collection that comes out. But the magic behind these project recipes is that not only can you use them for the collection they were designed for, but you can use them over and over and over again with all collections, all papers, all tools, and turn them into something amazing. So I'm going to be using, I think, the Botanical Burst recipe from 2021-ish. And I'll be using it with the new Enchanted Princess line that just came out. I am in love with how this came out, and I hope that you guys like it too. All right, to complete this project, you are going to need 3 sheets of designer paper. Technically, all 3 sheets are supposed to be different. I'm going to cheat a little bit on that, and I'll show you guys that in a second. You're also going to need 2 sheets of coordinating cardstock, one of them being white or neutral color, and then one of them being a coordinated color. The cool thing about our newest collections is that those coordinating cardstock colors are featured right on the packing slip. So I'm going to try to do this with purple ice. If that doesn't work out, I might switch it out for eggplant or island waters. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. You're also going to need your border maker system. I will be using the new Tiara chain. You're going to need a circle cutter with a 13-inch mat or the custom cutting system with jumbo circle. And then, of course, your trimmer and a tape runner. If you don't have the border maker system, that's okay. This project recipe was actually initially designed with a single punch in mind, and I'll show you guys that as we go through. All right, so the first thing we're going to do with our 3 sheets is pick our base. I'm going to move some of these tools aside and make room. Now, as I mentioned, it's meant to do 2 sheets of paper, or 3 sheets of different paper with 2 sheets being the bases. They are different. I love this sheet so much. I feel like it brings so much interest. I really want to make that a dual base. And you know what? I'm going to go with it. I will show you guys what it looks like when you use 2 sheets of paper at the end of the video, or 2 sheets of different paper at the end of the video. And then you will want a coordinating piece from the same pack or even a different pack, something that'll stick out on your background. All right, so let's make our first easy peasy cut. We're going to pull out one of those sheets of cardstock. This is the non-white sheet. Okay, so non-white. You're going to take your trimmer and you're going to make a 4-inch cut. And then you're going to do it again. Easy peasy. All right, I'm going to set this sheet aside. You will be using it. I'm going to go ahead and make the cuts for my other sheet of paper. And that is this one here. The first thing I'm going to do is make a 3.5-inch cut with this one. All right. I'm going to take that strip, I'm going to give it a 1/4 turn, and I'm going to make another 3.5-inch cut. I'm going to scoot that over, do one more 3.5-inch cut. And you should be left with a piece that is 3.5 by 5. I'm going to repeat that process again with our large remnant. So starting with a 3.5-inch cut. Giving it a 1/4 turn, cutting at 3.5 2 more times. So again, I have a 3.5 and what should be a 3.5 by 5. You've got one more rim nest from this. I'm going to start by making a 4-inch cut. This 1-inch strip is going to be extra. You can set that aside and use it another time. Now I'm going to take this 4-inch wide piece, give it a 1/4 turn, and make a 6-inch cut. All right, I've got this large piece, should be a 4 by 6. I'm going to turn it back so that we've got the 4 here and the 6 going tall. And I'm going to cut it so it's 3.5. You really could cut either way first because we're making a 3.5-inch square. But I just thought that I would like to have a longer scrap to use later. That's why I cut it that way. And now I'm going to give it a 1/4 turn and make another 3.5-inch cut. Alright, so I've got a 3.5-inch mat here, and I've got a little rectangle that is also extra that I can set aside. Alright, we are pretty much done with the trimmer. We'll pull it out for one more quick thing in a little bit, but let me set that aside. And now I'm going to pull out my 13-inch mat and circle maker. So I've got my 13-inch cutting mat. Turn it to give some brand recognition right at the top. I'm going to put my white 12 by 12 sheet of paper. And I'm going to pull out my circle maker or circle cutter. I always use the wrong verb there. If you don't have the circle cutter, you can use the Jumbo Circle Custom Cutting System pattern with the red blade to cut a circle. But I am going to be using my circle cutter here, and I'm going to be adjusting it to make roughly an 8 3/4 inch circle. So if I know that the lines are at 2/10, so one line below 9 is 8.8, and between the two lines is 8.7. I'm going to go just a little bit cheating. Let's see. I'm going to go halfway between the 6 and the 8 to make it 7, and then just go a squidge more. Super, precise. Just a little squidge. Now, I've recently done a video showing you guys how to use the circle cutter. If you didn't catch that, make sure you look at it. I'm sure I've linked it in the description. Just going to go around a couple times, making sure, twisting that base page to ensure I've cut all the way through, and I have. This is now scraps. You can set that aside. Here's that moment where we are going to pull out the trimmer for one more quick second. I'm going to take my trimmer and I'm going to scooch it up, open my arm, and in order to cut my circle in half, I'm going to rest it. Please excuse my super dirty trimmer right now. I'm going to rest it. There's this little space here and here. And when I put my circle there and rest it on those little ledges, I will be able to cut my circle in half. If whatever trimmer you're using doesn't have those ledges for an easy circle cutting in half, you can always lightly bend your circle and then follow that line, or like crease it really well, cut it with scissors. Lots of different options. So we have now pretty much finished with our cutting. We've got one more tool left to pull out. Right, I am pulling out my Border Maker system and my brand new tiara chain. Super cute design. Goes well with this paper. Obviously, it's about enchanted princesses. I'm going to cut on top of my 13-inch mat just to help control all of the punch poop stuff. And you remember that 4-inch leftover piece of cardstock we have? That's what we are going to be using. So I have done lots of demos on our Creative Memories original Border Maker system. If you need instructions on how to use that, make sure you check my other videos and tool tips. I've got lots of cool ways to save time and paper. You're going to need at least 2 strips if you're using the Border Maker. If you are using a punch, like I mentioned before, you're going to need like about 14 punches. I will show you how this gets used in a little bit, but it is, oh my gosh, guys, is that not just darling? Look at that. I'm in love. So cute. Okay, sorry, I distracted myself. As I said, you're going to need at least 2 of these borders, and it's going to, you're going to need it to be a chain border if this is the way you're going to go. You may end up needing 2.5, 3. That is something we can discuss, and I'll show you why. I'm going to set this aside in case I need to reuse it. But otherwise, I'm going to throw out my punch poop and start assembling. Okay, so these 4-inch strips are going to go right in the middle of your 2 12-inch papers. Right now, I'm just roughly putting them down. One easy way to do this without a ruler is take one piece, because we know that's 4 inches. Put that on the edge of the paper. And now when I line this up right next to it, it should be in the proper position. There we are. And then you can use a similar type technique. This time I'm lining this paper up with the purple piece I've added on. And I'm going to scooch it up just a wee bit so that I can see where this begins. That looks good to me. All right, first part done. Okay. Now the next part is you're going to take those half circles and they are just going to get tucked in on the outside of your layouts. And you can come in with a ruler, or sometimes I will even flop my sides to help me keep things straight. And you're just going to adhere those down. You want it even top to bottom and with like a little bit of paper showing on the outside. I have found that putting the circles about 1 3/4 from top and bottom is a good estimate. All right, now for the fun part. We have to cut up our strip so that we can work it around our edge here. Now you could cut each each chain is going to be a little bit different. You just have to figure out what makes sense for your particular strand and then just keep consistent. So I have to decide if I want to do 2 crowns and then a cut, or if I want to do 3. I'm going to try 2, and because I can see that that'll kind of work around, and then that's when I need to cut. So I'm just going to get a pair of scissors and trim up all of those, and then see if I need to make another strand. So I've cut 1 strand, and I'm just going to work putting it around this edge. It doesn't have to be too exact. And as you can see, I'm going to have a section hanging off. As I work through this, I can decide if I want to cheat my design in a little so that I don't have the hanger offers, or if I like it the way it is. I'm so close to getting around with just 1 strand, so I'm going to see if I can just cheat my design in just a little bit. I don't like, let me show you guys a close-up. I mean, I know it's not perfect, but I don't like how you see how like some of the white is coming through and some of the purple. It just, meh, it doesn't do it for me. I'd prefer it all to be the same, or mostly like that. So I'm going to cut 1 more strand, or maybe even just 2 or 3 extras, and then I will have enough to go all the way around both half circles. All right, I have finished laying my little borders all the way around, again cutting them into sections and then just overlapping and gluing or adhering as I go. Made a boo-boo. I think if I were to do this again, I would scoot my circle in a little bit more so that there's more room for my design, because once I trimmed off the parts that were overhanging, didn't look as cute. So, oh well, we live, we learn, we grow, we do something different the next time, all right? So next time I will leave a thicker border between the circle and the outside edge to make room for those border maker cartridges, or of course any of the regular punches. So as I was saying, this was originally designed to be done with a punch. So you guys can see that here, that several leaves were punched out and then individually laid out in a similar pattern, creating the semicircles. You could easily experiment using different punches. I think these leaves look really cool, but you know, it's been a while since this punch has been out. So find something you have in your collection or something that's current and give it a go. Now that we have done the base of our decorating, let's go ahead and lay down our mats. So this is going to be a really simple layout for our mats. Our largest mat, the 4x6, is going to go here, overlapping both our center purple strip and our white semicircle. And then we're going to have 3 of those 3 1/4 square mats. I'm not doing a super great job of lining them up just yet, just laying them down. And then on the opposite side, we've got our 4 3/4 by, our 5 by 3.5 inch mats that go here. The rest of our square 3 1/2ers. And this is where our mats go. Now this is designed so we can do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 photos here. Plus you've got room for journaling in our semicircles or our titling. The original recipe calls for an embellishment here, here, and here. I think that works okay, or maybe I would cheat this one up just a little bit to get more middle. Let me show you what this would look like with some photos on it. So we've got room for lots. I haven't adhered my mats down, so you're just going to have to bear with me as they move just a wee bit. You can also kind of experiment too with making them cattywampus instead of straight on. I always like a little bit of whimsy in my layouts. So what do you guys think of that final product? Now let me show you the one I practiced with before I started. It was one of those where I wasn't sure if I was gonna like it, but I'm totally in love. I love these color combinations, but the one I'm about to show you I love even more, and it's probably because I've already embellished it. So this one I used the Sweet Summer. And how stinking fun is this? Here I used the Sea Star chain. I've already put in my embellishments. I cheated this one up a little bit, and I tried to cheat this one down, but I got a little bit lazy. But guys, I love it, love it, love it. Can't wait to use this with all of the summer travels coming up this year. And I mentioned at the beginning that this was originally designed to be used with 2 different sheets of paper as your bases, and that's what I've done here. I've got this bright coral orange, this light purple, and then I've used eggplant for that center strip and then my chain around. All right, guys, what did you think of that? I told you I loved it, and I love it, love it, love it. I'm not sure if I like the Sweet Summer or the Enchanted Princess more. Having the embellishments on the Sweet Summer really kicks it up a notch. So right now that is my favorite. I also like that I was able to, when I just still trimmed some of the arch of the border maker off, but it didn't look weird after I trimmed it. Whereas with the tiara chain, looked a little funky after I trimmed it off. Am I gonna redo it? No, homegirl does not have time for that. I am not into redoing things that are done. So it's just gonna look a little funky, and that is okay. All right. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I am hoping that I will have a fun and interesting video for you guys next week. It's something that's in the process. It's been 2 weeks in the making. If something goes terribly wrong in the future, I'm gonna be so sad, and I'm gonna feel like I let you guys down, but make sure you guys come back next week for a fun new video, different type of video. In the meantime, make sure you guys are checking out my Facebook and Instagram. I am posting nearly daily there, and it's the best place to reach me one-on-one. And then as always, if you see anything in this video, whether it's the tape runner, the trimmers, those border maker cartridges, or if you just want to join my team, make sure you guys check out creativememories.com/cm/AshleyRush. All right, guys, I look forward to seeing you again in the future. Bye!